Great, thank you. Last ADR session done. I think that's it for me. Entirely. Season 2. So with that bit of ADR, I am done officially for realsies now. Ginny and Georgia Season 2. And it had me thinking about how I said I'd talk about the story behind the tap dance thing. And the tap dance, well, that one, see, that has a different story, but maybe I'll tell that story some other time. I've got some time. Let's talk about it. I have been tap dancing since I think about 5 years old. It's not something that I don't consider myself a professional by any means. It's just something that my parents put me in because it's one of those things that you get your kids to do. But instead of sports, they put me in dancing. It was like ballet and tap, I believe. But I guess they took me out of ballet because I didn't take to it. But for some reason kept me in tap. I did also play soccer, but I wasn't really a sports person. And clearly, growing up, I did not end up being a sports person. I did tap till about, I think I was like 10, maybe 11 years old. The moment someone at school called me gay, I dropped out, which I mean, you know, I wish I didn't because someone said that. I wish, you know, it's okay, so it's complicated. I knew tap wasn't really going to go anywhere for me. Psych, it actually did. But I knew it wasn't really going to go anywhere for me. I wasn't that passionate about it. So I was kind of looking for an excuse anyways to drop it. And hey, homophobia, great excuse, right? But I mean, looking back, obviously, I wish I just did it because I felt like I didn't want to do it anymore, not because someone said something rude, awful, homophobic to me about it. Anyways, I stopped tapping when I was about 10. Then I'd end up having to do it again when the local theater company that I was a part of, Stage North, they decided to do Chicago. There's a little tap number in there when Velma takes the stand, I believe. Maybe it's not actually a tap number, but we made it a tap number. My old tap teacher was actually playing Velma and knew that, you know, I was familiar at the very least with tap. So I was in the number, which was cool. So I do tap then, and then I don't touch it until years later when I'm at theater school at Studio 58. In your third term, so the start of your second year, C term, you have to do tap dance. Which is really funny. Going into that class, I was not the most skilled tap person, but I mean, okay, so basically there were people that had never tapped before, people that were quite familiar with tap, and then there was me kind of in the middle. Familiar, but like haven't been doing it for a very, very long time. I did moderately well. I mean, the class was very basic. I just, you know, expected a little more from myself and maybe choreograph something that I wasn't capable of doing. Then at the top of 2017, in my final year, the second last show that we do is 42nd Street, another tap thing. That was in 2017, so that was like the last time I had done tap until 2019, Ginny and Georgia. Okay, so now we're all caught up. It's episode, 6 or something? Whatever, it's Ginny's birthday, right? As we're wrapping up block 2, and I think we've just finished I Can Barely Breathe and all that, which again, you know, screw the haters on that. That shit was amazing. As we're wrapping up block 2, I remember I'm chilling in the place I'm staying in Toronto, and Sarah Lampert messages me. She texts me, hey, we're just working on Ginny's birthday party scene. Right now, Hunter is leading a marching band, but we want to give you a couple options. Do you want him to lead a marching band? Do you want him to do a flash mob dance thing? Or do you want him to do a birthday rap? And I'm feeling pretty honored. Like, I can't believe that Sarah would even ask me, ask for my input on what Hunter should do. That's really cool. Sarah and Deb are incredible. I owe them my entire career. She asks me, and gives me those 3 options. I say, why not all of them? Then I say, you know I can tap dance, right? As a joke. I say that as a joke because I'm thinking like, wow, Hunter, this guy, he's so extra, right? Like the I can barely breathe. I get that. I've serenaded people before, partially to embarrass them, but also like just a cute little thing, right? You're in high school, middle school, like whatever. Leading a marching band or doing a birthday rap or a flash mob, that's a little different. So I say, you know I can tap dance, right? And Sarah texts back something along the lines of like, LOL, that's it. And I text back, LOL, ha ha ha. Because like, I assume she's joking. I don't have tap shoes here. There's not a morsel in my body that thinks that this is going to actually happen. We get to the reading and we're reading the script, right? As we do. And then we get to the page where Jordan says,
I'm supposed to tell you all to look in that general direction.
And then whoever's reading the stage directions reads, Hunter leads a tap dance flash mob down the hallway to the tune of Happy Birthday, something like that. And everyone in the room laughs. Everyone laughs like, oh, ha ha ha, oh, it's so cute. Except for me, because I'm just kind of like sitting there going, ha ha, ha ha. And Sarah and Deb notice. The moment passes, we finish the read, and then afterwards, Sarah and Deb come up to me and they're like, hey, so we noticed your reaction to the tap dance. You weren't laughing. Like, do you not like that? You know how to tap dance, right? And I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, I know how to. I know how to tap dance. Yes. I didn't express it at the time because, again, I love Sarah. I love Deb. I owe them my career. They tell me to jump. I ask how high. But the first thought I had when I read it was like this Rolodex of memory, and I just plucked out this memory in my head of this like YouTube video and I found it. This YouTube video called, I think it was Make Her Day.
I'm Garrett, I am 13. I like to dance, I like to write, play sports.
But basically it was about this kid in this dance class and he really likes this girl.
There's this girl named Alexa. She's pretty.
So he decides to work with his choreographer to do a little dance to impress her.
I think I'm gonna do a little dance for her.
And,
Hold up, stop. This one's for you.
Is it adorable? The video is, I mean, I'm sorry, but it's.
She loved it. I can tell. I can tell.
It's pretty cringe. And when I read that little action line in the script about Hunter leading a flash mob, tap dancing, happy birthday thing, I felt worry because I thought of that video. In my head I went, that's what that will look like. Interesting. But we will make it happen. We will make it happen for Deb and Sarah. They thought it was going to be sexy. And they still stand by that. And you know what? I don't disagree with them. I don't I don't know if it's sexy. I definitely don't disagree with the idea that it is sweet. Wouldn't you want someone to be so in love with you and so dedicated to you that you get a little flash mob tap dance sequence for your birthday as opposed to nothing, as opposed to loneliness or whatever? Maybe, I don't know. They have made that argument and they say that they would prefer that and they think it is sexy. And I don't know. But hey, they wanted it. I ask how high. So, okay, we're gonna do this thing. I'm given 2 sessions with a choreographer to figure it out. And we're doing this just like in the back of the studio somewhere, which honestly I probably should have advocated a little bit to get like a studio with a sprung floor, because honestly, working on that concrete was awful. That was really difficult. I go into my fitting for the episode and the costume designer's like, okay, so where's your tap shoes? And I'm like, what tap shoes? I don't have them here. This was not part of the show originally. So the show had to get me tap shoes. 2 sessions is not enough for me. The other professional dancers in the scene, they are incredible dancers. They pick it up on like 1 pass because, you know, that's what they do. But I am not a professional dancer. And people are incorrectly assuming that I can just do it. I can't. It takes me much more than 1 pass or 2 passes or 1 session or 2 sessions. I request a 3rd session because by the end of the 2nd, I'm like, I can't do it still. I just don't know. I don't know it yet. So we get this 3rd session. The only time and place we can do it is in the lunchroom, like where people eat on like an off day or whatever. We're doing this thing and I'm practicing in the lunchroom with the choreographer. While this is happening, Deb and Sarah are having a meeting with Netflix about the cost of the series. How we're something about the budget and we're like over budget or something. I'm not entirely sure. But I know that they're trying to cut costs at this point. And one of the things that comes up is the tap dance scene. Do we need it? Netflix asks Sarah and Deb. And they argue for it, but ultimately they cave and they're like, you know, you're right. If we got to cut something, I mean, we don't need this like tap dance set piece. And you know what? Fair enough, right? Fair enough. It doesn't like progress the plot really. It doesn't get brought up later. So that and whatever else that they were thinking about cutting, they go off to lunch and they're gonna mull it over. Deb walks into the lunchroom where I'm tap dancing. She hides somewhere, pulls out her phone and starts recording me. And records me doing a little bit of tappy tap and sends it to Sarah and the director for that episode and says, we can't cut the tap dance. And they agree. Again, because they thought it was sexy. It is what it is, guys. You may not like it, but this is the peak male. This is masculinity in its peak form. This is pure sex. Anywho, so we get to the day of, the big day. I'm nervous as hell because I still don't actually know it. I'm really nervous, but I have a ton of support from not only the cast, not only the choreographer, but Sarah, Deb, even the BG, the background folks. They're all like, all about it. We get up there and then so we do a rehearsal and it's just the actors and the dancers and me with the dancers doing the thing down the hallway. Sarah records the reaction that everyone has. And I'm a little nervous because I'm not even sure, you know, how are people going to react, right? And honestly, I mean, if I have got the clip, I'll play it right now.
6, 7, 8, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Run down, run, move,
I mean, it's a pretty stunning thing to see, like, just a wall of dancers, like, move toward you anyways. So that's really cool. But, I mean, like, I was also very aware that this is going to be the most supportive group of people probably to ever see this thing, but everyone was super, super supportive. So we do the scene like 1, 2, 12, 20, felt like 100 times. In between takes, like I got my legs up the wall trying to get the blood from my calves back into my body because I'm not physically conditioned for this, you know? I've had like a week and a half maybe to prepare. That's 3 sessions, and let me tell you, as a former tap dancer, as someone who has tap danced before, you've got to like have the conditioning in your calves. You're like, your legs are like kind of bent the whole time, and you're kind of on the balls of your feet the whole time, and to hold that position for like hours of re-recording and recording and like just kicking the concrete floor, like that is so difficult. And I did not have that conditioning. So it was not easy, but we got it done. We got multiple takes done, and I did eventually, after like maybe 2 botched, maybe more than 2 botched takes, I got the choreography down, and we do the thing, and then the scene's done, and it's just like, wow, what a crazy experience. I go from tap dancing, this random niche dancing skill ability that I learned from 5 to 10. Then I did a couple times in theater, and I had to do at theater school just a little bit. Something that I never thought would be applicable to my career or useful or anything like that. And it somehow makes its way into a Netflix show. Yeah, wow, what a crazy journey, right? Then the show comes out. I'm sure, I mean, if you're here on this video, I'm almost certain that you know what happened, how people reacted to it. I remember my take on it, I didn't want to play sexy or anything because I thought it was ridiculous. Like I should be like, oh, look at me, Hunter, going like embarrassing Ginny. You know, like I wanted to like essentially have it be like a parody of I Can Barely Breathe, where it's like, oh, I'm outdoing myself even again, you know? And I thought that could maybe speak to Hunter's character about how, you know, he loves Ginny, he really cares about Ginny, but he keeps making things about himself with these giant gestures. Or I'm trying to think about, you know, the action behind it. But they very much wanted me to do it in the sexiest way I could. So I did it the sexiest way I could. Believe it or not, I do get DMs every now and again about the tap dance and people genuinely thinking it's sexy. It's actually mainly South American people. And I think that's because dancing it's a different thing culturally in South America than it is in, say, the United States, where plenty of Americans from age 13 to 18 have told me awful things about it and have told me to you know, I won't, maybe that's for a different video about the things I get messaged. I get dunked on for it a lot, which sucks, but you know, I gotta be honest, I can't say I didn't see that coming. Either way, honestly, I don't have any regrets. No, I do have a regret. I do regret not requesting a sprung floor to practice on. But other than that, I don't regret that. The Happy Friday thing, that was pretty weird, yes. The tap dance thing, I don't regret genuinely, because how often do I get to use that skill? That's a win in my books, and you know, I've dealt with the bullying for the dancing stuff anyway, so that's nothing new. I know how to deal with that. You're gonna face that if you're a male and you dance and like, you know, whatever. Those people, honestly, most of them are children. So what am I gonna say to children that are like, you're a loser, and using much harsher language than that? It is what it is. I guess I can just wrap this up. If there's anyone out there that's watching this and they want to get into tap dancing themselves, I say go for it. Don't let people ruin things for you. You know what I mean? But if you want to, if you're like, wow, I really want to tap dance down a hallway to the tune of Happy Birthday in a really sexy way for my girlfriend, well, you do you, but let me personally tell you, the reaction that you get may not be stellar.
I can tell.
And that's the story behind the Happy Birthday tap dance. That's such a lame ending. Happy Friday, y'all.